My pirouettes took some of our time. And also, remember that dark part where you couldn't see me? I didn't count either. So I'm going to go over like by 10 or 15 minutes. I'm only counting the light time. So I'm just trying to share a few images that you can use throughout the year with one another, and I hope this one in particular maybe allows you to have something to ground the next 9 months in together. I was called in to, or I spoke somewhere, I think at a conference, and this high school counselor came up to me afterwards, and she says, that was really good, and could you come to my school? We really need to hear that message about our relationship with one another. And I said, sure, that's fine, and we talked. As it turns out, the school, it was a high school outside of Chicago, was full of really angry, really sad, and really miserable adults. And the principal hired me to come in and basically cheer up his people. So I flew to O'Hare and I rented a car and I drove to this high school, and you can feel it within like 50 yards of the front door. Oh, yeah. Okay. So they released the kids at 1 o'clock, then they had white rolls and turkey sandwiches for the staff, and then we came into this big auditorium. And the reason I stand in the shade, it's much cooler. And it was, so the admin walks in, and they sit in the front rows. They're dressed kind of like me, and they sit in the front rows, and they just kind of stare at me like this. 350 teachers, well, it's a big school. 350 teachers walk in and sit behind them. And they sit and stare at me. So I come out, and I get out on the thing, and I'm like, hey! And it took about 4 minutes to realize that they hated me, and they really hated each other. And I was there to cheer them up. I thought, this model is broken. So you could wring my shirt out at that point. I'm just terribly uncomfortable. So I closed the Mac, and the screen goes black for dramatic effect. And I told them, I said, you know what, and I had 2 hours with them. I'm like, I'm not going to do this to you. This is done. And the principal's sitting in front of him, and he's like, and I said, I was watching Shark Week last night in my hotel. And the episode that I was watching was How to Survive a Shark Attack. And I said, do you know how to survive a shark attack? You're going to learn one thing today. Any idea? Well, here. So when you're in the middle of the ocean and your boat capsizes, and now you're wading in the ocean. So you're in the middle of the ocean, you're fine. And a bunch of sharks start circling you. Everything in your being is going to want to freak out and swim away, screaming and flailing, which just makes you even more attractive as lunch. So what you're supposed to do is stay real calm in the water. Got that? So note, in the middle of the ocean, sharks are circling, stay calm. So just wait around and just wait, just there. And the sharks will come up and they'll sniff you a little bit, deciding the best seasoning. And then the shark comes in and it really looks like it's coming in for the moment. You take every ounce of survival and humanistic passion you have, and punch the shark right in the eye! I mean, you really rear back and say, bam! And the shark will say, I just turned into Howard Dean for a second. messing with this one, and it will swim away and leave you alone, and you're fine. And then just wait a while, and they'll come and get you, and it'll be great. So remember, if you're in there and the shark's coming at you, just punch the shark. So I told this to this audience, this story, and I said, you know what? Right now, everything in my being wants to swim away, flail, screaming, and just get out of here. But I'm going to be real still, and we're going to punch the shark. So I had to hold this microphone. I walked over to the audience, and I found the angriest looking guy. He was way in the back, and I walked up to him and I said, so, what's your problem? Now my inner dialogue is like, what are you doing? You know, I was just like, don't do this. And he goes, and he said, thank God he spoke. I think it's a waste of time that we're here. We have so many meetings already. I wish I was just back in my room getting work done. I said, okay, thank you. Don't clap for that. So then I walk back to the principal. He looks at me with terror, and I say, so he thinks that you guys have too many meetings and not enough respect for their time. What are we going to do with that? Principal says, well, how about we spend the next few faculty meetings and department chair meetings, we'll review the entire meeting schedule and try to get rid of half of them by the end of the month. The room erupts. And I go, so what did we just do, you guys? We punched the shark. I didn't give him much. I said, we punched the shark. I keep going back out into the audience on field trips, and then going to admin and doing field trips. By the, 20 minutes into it, my shirt's untucked, I'm drenched in it, and it turned into a Southern Baptist revival. I mean, it was on. And I had the whole room yelling, punch the shark! So thanks to Google Images, I got back home and I found this picture of shark fin, and I sent the principal, I printed it off, and I wrote punch the shark, Nathan, and put it in a frame, and I mailed it home. He photocopied that, gave one to each staff member, and the first 15 minutes of every faculty meeting to the day is their punch the shark time. What is it? What are we most worried about, nervous about, scared about, upset about? And instead of gossiping about it in the faculty lounge or complaining about it at stress management meetings on Friday night at the bar. He's like, let's just do this. Let's swim toward the stuff that scares us the most. And forgive me the self-congratulatory note of this. It is really transformed. They're going towards the stuff that made them so angry, and their arms have uncrossed. But the other thing that it's done is it's informed us personally, and I want us to think about this for a second. You might be the worst part of someone's day. You might be the person that person is trying not to see. The sight of your car in a parking lot is not a good sight. You have sharks you need to punch. And you might be a shark. You probably know it. And I would imagine none of us wants to be that person. For those of you wondering who or what your sharks might be, here's your homework for tonight. Do it. Please do this. I'm asking you to do it. Go home, have dinner, with your roommates, your best friends, your spouse, whoever it is that's closest to your family, and ask them this question. Who or what do you hope I don't complain about anymore? I've got news for you. They'll know the answer. They will. They'll tell you. I've got another piece of news for you. You might be mentioned. So let's be mature about this and be okay with it. I'm serious, right? But let's be okay with this. It is going to, a sharp punching moment will sound like this. Oh, you in the front row, you're so glad you're not wearing name tags. But it will sound like this. John, is this a good time to talk? Yeah. Hey, look. Yesterday you came into my room and I just kind of snapped at you. You just caught me at a bad moment, and I'm sorry about that. What is it that you needed? I don't want to talk to John. I don't want to fix this thing with John. I'm sick of John. I don't like John. But my wife needs me to fix this thing with John. She will write the script for me. John and I might not become best friends. Let's be clear about something here. We might not go bowling every Friday. But I vow to you, John, this. I will work at our working relationship at least to the point where I don't make your work or life harder. It's hard enough already.